was just reading who's who, or at least who was who, in the DC universe. Let's do a comic book editions video today, talk about this, unbox an AOK from Murci Collectibles, and share some pickups from a recent comic show I went to. It all starts now. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, I hope that you'll click the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you know when new content is added to my channel. What you're looking at is an AOK from my friend Andre. You might remember that Andre recently sent me a whole bunch of foreign edition comic books from Brazil. That's where he lives. Now this isn't a foreign edition item, but it's an item that he really loves and he wanted to make sure that I had a copy of it as well. It's Who's Who in the DC universe, and it's done in a loose leaf format. And there's certainly some beautiful artwork in here. The often missing map of Atlantis is included. So I'm super stoked and happy to have this. It makes me want to get the rest of the volumes as well to complete this. And just to get me started on the next round, he also sent me the loose leaf for issue number 12. So I like that. I love it a lot. My friend Andre certainly has spoiled me. He's taken such good care of me. And I thank you again for another wonderful gift that I love. Speaking of gifts, I was so stoked to have an AOK to unbox today, which I'm going to start into right now. This is from Murci Collectibles. Murci is someone that I knew from seeing in the chats with Comic Fu. And I remember an AOK that he sent to Comic Fu too. But we just been talking, and he lives in Sweden. And he was telling me about how Wonder Woman didn't get published in Sweden until much later than she did in the US. And he was trying to track down for me some early Wonder Woman appearances in Sweden. And he certainly did that. Now there's 2 books in here. In full disclosure, I do know what each book is. So I'm going to put you into fast forward mode really quickly so I can open up the remainder of this box and share this with you. I was sitting there trying to cut some tape, and then I realized there's pull tabs. Of course there's pull tabs. Murci Collectibles is a professional. He knows how to take care of comic books. So those who've watched my channel for a long time know I am a big fan of foreign edition comic books. Sorry for that loud tape pull. And I especially love them if the covers look a little bit different than what the US covers look like. And this was really well protected and well shipped. And I did a little digging after I found out these books were coming. Got a business card, I see. And let's show you this one first. Like I said, I know what both of these books are, but let's show you this one first. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That is the Swedish version of Superman versus Wonder Woman. And from what I've been able to gather, this, because that was a very big treasury in the US, it was broken into 2 parts in Sweden. So this is part 1, and then the next issue is part 2, and they used the back cover from Superman versus Wonder Woman as the main A cover for the next issue. And also what I found out, this possibly might be Wonder Woman's second appearance in Sweden. And I say that because she was on the cover of the issue before this, which was taken from the US World's Finest 750. But I don't know if she's just on the cover or if there's actually an interior story. So this might be her second cover appearance. I'm pretty sure it's her second cover appearance. But depending on if she was on the cover or on the interior of that other issue, it might be her first story. It's a little confusing. One moment. Apologies for that. There was a big noise outside that I didn't want you to have to listen to. But I am stoked. I love this. Of course, you know, I find it interesting too. In the US Treasury, Uncle Sam is behind Superman and Wonder Woman. But of course, in the foreign market, why would they care about that? So he's been edited out. That is awesome. I'm curious too if there's any images on the back cover. Nope, it's just a regular advertisement. Okay. Wow. And the other one that was gifted to me and AOK to me, look at this. I love this. Now, I've talked about this in a previous video as well. In DC Comics Presents 41, they did a little mini preview of the new creative team that was coming on Wonder Woman, and that's where she was gifted her new halter top with the double W emblem. Well, in the little corner on the side of DC Comics Presents 41, it says bonus insert with Wonder Woman, and it's got an image. This is the image. This was also used as the quote-unquote cover inside the story. So if you get what I mean, it wasn't an actual cover like you would see on the front of a magazine, but when you were paging through the story, it was used as the cover. But here it's an all-around real cover. Just like Pinocchio is a real boy now, this is now a real cover. And I think it's an amazing cover. I love the artwork on this, and I'm so super stoked to have this. I have an Italian version of this, but that didn't come out until in the 2000s. So this came out, back in the day. This is vintage for sure. So Murci Collectibles, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for sending both of these books my way. I'm super stoked to have them and have them in the collection. It makes me want to get some more Swedish comic books, especially some more Wonder Woman, since that's my jam. But I'm always interested too in covers that weren't used in the US as covers, or that were altered from the US cover version. So that's always my wheelhouse as well. Thank you so much, Murci, for your friendship, for sending the stuff my way. You certainly didn't have to. And I truly appreciate you more than you'll ever know. So thank you again. I want to move on to a comic show that I recently had the chance to attend. It was going on during a Sunday afternoon. And actually it started on a Sunday morning. And I thought, well, I'll go in the afternoon because there was a Green Bay Packers game playing during that same time. And I thought, I bet it's going to be cleared out pretty good. And maybe some dealers will be willing to wheel and deal a little bit more. So when I say comic show, this is what I mean by it. Take a look at this video. It's a bunch of dealers that are set up in a hotel ballroom. So there's no cosplay, there's no panels, there's no creators there, nothing like that. It's just a bunch of people that want to buy some comic books and some folks that are trying to sell some comic books. I had a great time. I always have a good time. And there was one particular seller that I was hoping would be there, and he ended up being there. And I made all my purchases from him. So what I want to do is show you the 10 books that I picked up from him. Normally I don't do costs, but I'm going to tell you two things up front. Ignore the prices that you see on the front of these books because that's not what I paid for them. And I ended up getting this entire lot of 10 books for $100. So you tell me if you think I did a good job or not. I have my personal opinion, but I'm curious to see what you think. Action Comics 485 is one that I've wanted for quite some time because of this gorgeous Neil Adams artwork. So I'm stoked to have this. I have 486 and 487, so now I have a little mini run going. Can't go wrong with a cover like this. Next one I picked up, when I see some Fantastic Four, which I do see pretty frequently, I try to pick those up. This has got a great Galactus cover of issue number 173. I'll have to take a look for FF 174. They didn't have that, but they did have 175, also featuring Galactus, so I scooped that one up as well. I saw this and I had forgotten that comic readers used to be this small. You're going to see me show some comic readers in a future comic book editions video, but they're like regular comic book size or maybe just a touch tiny. Now, I did send VV1 of Red Sonja as an AOK that had a black and white cover. And I guess it was this size. I had just forgotten about it. And comic readers were kind of the internet for comic book fans before there was an internet. This is how you knew of books that were coming out, feature storylines. Sometimes it's the first time you even saw what a cover might look like for an issue that was about to come out. I'm a Ms. Marvel fan, although I prefer her in the Black Lightning Bolt costume. This is Comic Reader number 148. But when I saw it there, which even though these aren't that expensive and they're not worth that much, you just don't see them in the wild, especially that much either. So, and the artwork for comic readers usually are original artwork. So you don't see this artwork somewhere else either, which is probably the primary reason why I like to pick them up, that and the nostalgia factor to it. So I saw this, I'm a Ms. Marvel fan, and I grabbed it. You've heard me talk about wanting to work on my Justice League run. Justice League 131 is an issue that I needed for the collection. I saw it there, it was in really great shape too. So that was kind of a no-brainer. And while we're talking about Justice League comic books, I saw this Silver Age one, and the colors are so bright on this. And I do know it's low grade, but the colors are so bright, it displays so nicely. This is the second appearance of the Crime Syndicate. It's also the second JLA JSA team up. So they would do that yearly, annually, and that would usually take 2 to 3 issues. So this is part 2, the final part of the second ever JLA JSA team up and second appearance of the Crime Syndicate. I'm just dropping that knowledge for you left and right, aren't I? Hey, that's what I'm known for, among other things. So you've heard me talk about this book in a different video. It's DC 100-page Super Spectacular, issue number 6. And in a previous video, just recently, I was talking about the facsimile that I bought of this, and I was pretty disappointed. And it's kind of been in the back of my mind that I need to get an original and just be done with it. But finding the book isn't that tough. Finding this book in nice condition, now that can be a challenge. And even at regular price $25, this was a steal, but I didn't pay that much for it. This was a really good steal because you usually don't see it in this nice of condition for this price. Also, I'm not going to take it out, but I'll show it here on the side, on the insert. There is a really nice back cover. So it's got a wraparound cover. It's Neil Adams. And although the non-powered mod era Diana Prince isn't in the story, she's on that back cover, and that's another reason why I wanted it. So I can put this baby to rest now. Everything's been taken care of with this one, and I'm happy. Speaking of happy, I was hoping to get all of the books that I just showed you, and maybe one Bronze Age X-Men. That was my goal, to fit within my budget. Well, I didn't do it. I got all of the books, obviously, that I showed you, and 3 Bronze Age X-Men. Three of them that I need, so I'm stoked. X-Men 115 with Sauron. Of course, X-Men in the Savage Land. Colossus getting busy during that storyline. I know that this is an approved purchase from John's Comics with Kids and Justin, No Good Comics. And of course, the man, Jedi Knight. They all approve of this purchase and the next 2 that I have to show you. Of course, it rotates between John's Comics with Kids and Justin No Good Comics channel every Tuesday, Omni X-Men. So that's the show where they look at one issue from the Omni X-Men, and they started with X-Men 94, and now they're in the 130s. They're almost at the end of the 130s. So I don't miss that. I'm a regular for that. This is issue 118 with Sunfire. Love that. And I think I skipped over it for a second. I didn't mean to, but I had 115. I showed you 118. It got stuck to the tape. 116 I also was able to pick up. Look at that cover with Colossus on fire and how the fire's reflecting in his metal. That's cool. So 115, 116, and 118 I did pick up. So 3 more to check off my goal. I'm really trying to work in that, pre-200. That's what I'll say with X-Men, pre-200. And you know what? I've got a good chunk of them. There's still a lot to go and a lot more money to be spent to chug away at it. But this comic show certainly helped me. Like I said, I only thought I'd be able to get 1 issue that was on their wall, and we were able to pull up 3. I think it helped too that there weren't that many people there in the afternoon. Although, like I said, I heard in the morning it was packed with people before the Packer game started. But timing was everything, and I didn't feel that even going so late that I missed out on a good selection of books. I still thought that there was plenty of things that I was interested in still waiting for me by the time that I got there. So that wraps up this comic book editions video. Thank you for the AOK, Andre. Thank you for the AOK Murci Collectibles. Thank you, my friends, for watching this. $100 for those 10 books. As Michael Ackery would say, what did you think? How did I do? Leave your comments below. Your comments are always welcome, encouraged, and appreciated. Give this video a thumbs up, a like, because that's a great way to show support to my channel. And as I mentioned before, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Share the channel with someone that you think might be interested in my content or this video specifically. That's another great way to show support. Thank you for making it to the end of another one of my comic book editions videos today, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day.